Hi again, it's Wes, and in this video I'm going to show you how to configure or set up races and blinds for your trial. So after you start getting entries and the trial date is approaching, you probably want to generate your race heats or blinds so you can print out your heat sheets and just get ready for your event. So to do that, you'll want to navigate to your Races tab here and press Create Races. And again, we can create either races or blinds. For Barn Hunt Association events, it's going to be blinds, but for Jack Russell Terrier events, it's probably going to be races. So we'll select the type, race heats or blinds. We're going to do race heats here. And we're going to say the heat size is 6 because there's 6 slots on most boxes for race heats. And this cut size sets the number of dogs to place in semifinals and finals from the heats. So it will determine the number of semifinals and finals that TrialVault automatically generates. For blinds, this doesn't mean anything. You can just leave it at 0, and the colors for blinds doesn't mean anything either. You can just leave that blank. But in the case of race heats, we need to select at least 6 colors because that's the size of the heats we've entered. You can select more if you have more. So there's 4, 5, 6, and I'll select one more. If colors are assigned with slots on your race box, you can select those from the drop down here. So maybe red is slot 1 and yellow is slot 2. So you can do that and they'll just appear in a fixed order. Otherwise, TrialVault will just randomly select some colors for each heat. And finally, the categories of classes for which we want to make heats. And all the racing categories are selected by default. So we'll just make those races, and you'll see we have this configuration appears in here. We can add more configurations if there's different types of class categories that have different size heats or cut size or colors or collar colors, so you can do that. And down here just appears the editor for the race heats. And we have no entries in racing in this trial so far, so it just shows blank. It shows all the colors it selected for that class, and just blank slots. But when we actually start getting entries, those will start being assigned to these different classes. Now, something important to keep in mind is as you start getting more entries, if you've already created this race configuration, TrialVault won't place those entries in heats automatically. So you have to manually go in here and press regenerate when we do that. So I'm going to go over to attendees and just put an entry in racing so you can get an idea of what this looks like. So I'm going to enter the senior class on both days here, and we'll finish that up and go back and then go to races. So races will load, and you'll notice this warning sign now appears next to the senior class. And that is because we've got a new entry in this class and it hasn't been assigned a heat yet. And you'll see these a lot as you start getting more and more entries. And to clear all these warnings, you can do it all at once by just going up here and hitting this Regenerate Races button. And you'll go through and just make sure the settings are how you want them still, and this will clear out all existing heats and make new heats, so just be aware of that. And it will do that, and that warning will be cleared now, and now Shavano Creek Samson is in a particular slot. Now you can also edit race heats manually, so I'll open this editor, and you can either say you want to just shuffle this class, you want it to be regenerated again, the heats, then just hit that, and you'll notice different colors are selected, and Samson gets assigned to a different slot. Or you can just manually assign each entry in this class a heat if you want to as well. TrialVault will, if there are dogs with the same owners, try to put them in different heats, but it's not always perfect, so you can go in here and just manually edit the assignment if you want to place the dogs in different heats. The same thing applies for blinds, except the colors, we won't be assigning dogs colors. but the editor will look pretty much the same. You can have both blinds and heats in the same trial by just adding another configuration and set it to blinds, and you'll set your blind size, maybe it's 5, and you'll want to clear out all the racing categories here, and maybe you'll just select barn hunt. You'll select the category of barn hunt that you want to generate these blinds for. So novice might have a blind size of 5, and then you'll just say make blinds races. But since this trial doesn't have any of those classes, they're not showing up down here. You can delete a configuration, just delete all the races or heats, or blinds I should say, by doing that, by pressing that button, and that will clear it out so you can generate it again. Once you have generated the races, if you want to download the heat sheets, go over to reports and just select heat sheets and press download, and it will give you a PDF of all the heat sheets. And I think that summarizes everything you need to know about races. I hope this video helps, and stay tuned for more.